But guys, let me be real with you. I filed bankruptcy before. So my credit has been to you know what a long time ago. But guess what? A year later, I think it was a YouTube video I saw from Yahoo Finance Wealth. And the title was Why You Should Be Careful When Canceling Your Credit Cards. And a few weeks ago, I made a video. So I've been closing some of my credit cards, especially the ones that I'm not using. Yeah, I closed Kohl's, and then TJ Maxx closed it on their own for me because I wasn't using it. And then there was another credit card I closed, and it was a Chase card, but it had an annual balance. So there was no need to have that either. So, of course, I closed that one as well. So I don't see nothing wrong with canceling credit cards. Everybody's situation is different, but from this video, it was very interesting because what I got from it was that they were trying to make you scared to cancel your credit cards. So I've had one of those credit cards for years. But guys, let me be real with you. I filed bankruptcy before. So my credit has been to you know what a long time ago. But guess what? A year later, my credit score was back up to I think like 650, and I had one credit card. So that's the whole reason. So even with doing a bankruptcy, my situation was hectic. So I filed bankruptcy and I came out of it fine. So closing one credit card or two is not going to hurt. And then it was some things that she had mentioned because it was all about the pros and cons of paying off or no, closing or canceling a credit card. So some of the pros I'll read to you. It said the pros are you avoid high annual fees, you protect it from others using it. Identity theft. Yeah, so you're protected from identity theft if you cancel it, and it's just not sitting out there where other people can possibly hack into it, in other words. And of course, they did mention that it simplifies your finances, which I'm a big component of nowadays, simplifying my finances. And then it's one less temptation, so it doesn't give you the temptation to splurge. So I thought those were good pros. But when it came to the cons, they listed some stuff, put fear in people to say, oh, I'm not closing my credit cards. We have to do what's best for us in our personal situation, but closing a credit card, yes, it can impact your credit score, but guess what? You can build it back up over time, which is true from when I filed bankruptcy. I would have never thought I would have been able to get another credit card just a year after bankruptcy and have a credit score of 650. And let me tell you the cons that they said. It impacts your credit utilization. It hurts your credit history. It lowers credit mix, and it's possible for you to lose like rewards or perks. Okay, but when you're on or when you have a mindset that you are getting out of debt and you're not getting into any more debt, it doesn't matter. You don't care about those credit cards because your focus and your goal is to get out of debt. So if it comes down to close a credit card, it really doesn't matter because you're focused. You're in a different season of getting rid of these credit cards, or I should say it better, getting rid of debt. So some other things she was saying, well, you need a credit card for large purchases. So, okay, you may need a good credit for purchasing a home or purchasing a car. Okay, so with the car thing, I don't purchase cars anymore. I learned my lesson long ago. I don't purchase or lease them. I just buy them cash. So I save up the money and buy something that's within or in my budget, and I'll pay for it cash. I don't finance a car. it's ridiculous to finance a car nowadays. And then as well, when it comes to a home, I worked so hard. I think I had 3 jobs. I was so determined to get my home. I made sure that all my bills were paid, credit card bills were paid, and everything. So I had actually got my credit up to 815. So I was in good shape when it came to my credit score. So once I got my home and I had a low interest rate on it, I was pretty much set. I just wanted stability. And if I could have paid my house cash, I would have. But that wasn't realistic at the time. But I most definitely pays for my cars in cash. And then it was so funny. So they were saying, oh, so you need your credit for large purchases or things that may come up. Another thing, guys, if you've been following me, I have over 15 credit cards. And 2 of those credit cards, I have access to over $100,000. So why in the world would I need another credit card? So even if one of those credit cards closed, I would still be in good shape. Even if my credit score dropped 100 points, I'm at 815, I would still be in good shape. It doesn't matter. But again, I'm in a season of paying off debt. So I don't even use the credit cards. But I will make sure that the ones that I do keep open, that I'm like making a purchase and paying it off just to keep and maintain them, because that's the requirement, so you have to follow their policies and procedures. So I will adhere to that, but I barely use credit cards anymore. I do have that one credit card that I use as my banking or my as my working credit card, my BOA. But again, I only use that for bills, and then I pay it back off every month. And then with the HELOC has made things so much more streamlined for me. I've transferred all those credit card bills onto those credit card balances onto the HELOC, and I'm paying it off. Like this article trying to scare you not to close your credit cards or it will hinder your credit report. I just think it was more so like a fear tactic. Because again, you have to do what's best for you. After filing bankruptcy and bringing my credit score back up over time, it was no problem. Over time, like I said, you can build your credit score back up. So even if you did take a hit, it just takes time. You can build it back up to a score that's reasonable for you and to help you get lower interest rates. It's all about timing. So as far as it being a negative to close a credit card, I don't believe that's necessarily true. Article from Yahoo Finance Wealth with the personal finance expert. I think her name was Bobby Rebel. But it's really interesting. So if you guys get time, go check it out. I thought this was really relevant to me as far as me paying down debt, just to simplify everything, because I have over 15 credit cards. Closing 1 or 2 is not going to hurt the game. Trust me. It's just not. But the thing is, if you do close them, I would make sure that it's no balance on them before you close them. And then they was also mentioning don't close the oldest one. And I closed one of the oldest ones, and I don't need credit at this time in my life. Yes, I want to keep it, under control and make sure I pay down my debt if I need it. But at this point, for them closing the card because I'm not using it or tanking my score because I closed the credit card, we have choices. So why are we being penalized for making a choice? So it's a whole lot that you have to consider with that. So, but I think it's a really good article to see how financial advisors are thinking, because credit cards are debt. It can build your credit score, but there's so much to your money than credit cards. Yes, it can be used for convenience, but in all actuality, you probably only need one credit card, two if necessary, five at the most. But in my circumstance, I have 15. Now, do I need 15? No, I don't. But that was something that it was like when my credit score was that high, I was like, everybody was throwing me a credit card, so I was just taking it. But I don't really need all those. And then they also went on to talk about the rewards that you get and the perks. Yes, there are perks, but I will let you know something. You do not get anything for free. So when they give you those perks, you better bet you didn't give in enough or use that card enough for them to give you those perks back. So all these perks, it really doesn't matter because you got to use that credit card faithfully, regularly, consistently for them to give you those perks back. So weighing the difference between having perks or not having perks from a credit card, if that's your lifestyle, fine, use it. But it's not going to make me or break me because of the credit cards giving me some perks. Nothing is for free, especially when it comes to these credit cards. It just sparked some interest as far as how credit card companies are looking at us when it comes to paying off debt or closing a credit card. The other thing is still maintain your credit cards if you have them, but if you need to close them or you don't feel that they're useful, especially if they have a balance, make your own decision. Make the decision that works for your financial situation best. I'm so hyper focused on paying down this debt, including my mortgage. So it really doesn't matter because I'm not using those credit cards throughout my daily life to get by. I'm only using the credit cards to make things more convenient for me. Like I was telling you how I use the Bank of America. And yes, I do get points for it, but they're not significant. Don't depend on credit. Yes, it's useful and it's only a tool. So don't depend on it for daily use, for making regular purchases. Only those purchases that are necessary, pay down your bills and help you with saving on interest rates and things like that. I'm just pretty much using cash. So, and I just like the simplicity of everything, making things simple. And since I've consolidated all those balances from my credit card, it's so much easier to manage and I can focus on paying down that debt with the HELOC. So as soon as I get my paycheck, I put all of it into my HELOC. But throughout the month, I'll pull back out any expenses that I need, and anything that's left over, that stays into the HELOC to pay it down quicker. But because I'm paying the HELOC 2-3 times a month, it's also cutting back on interest. So I'm paying off my debt so much quicker at a lower rate. But thank you all for stopping by. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you and have a great day. Bye.